So, time management or how to avoid the hamster problem. This is one of the businesses that I run, Freelance Success, which is designed to help creative people with their business stuff. And the first thing I want to talk about is this. Are you a monochron or a polychron? What does that mean, Micah? Well, I will explain it to you. If you are polychronic, then this is about, these two terms describe how you perceive and manage time. If you are a polychronic person, you see time as a river, an endlessly flowing river without a significant beginning, middle or end. No particular structure in terms of the way you perceive time. You like your time unstructured. You like to change from one activity to the next, depending on where the mood or the muse takes you. You can meet deadlines, but you like to meet them in your own way. You don't really like detailed plans imposed upon you. Is this sounding familiar to anyone? You prefer to work as you see fit rather than sticking to any kind of schedule, whether imposed by you or otherwise, and you love doing more than one thing at a time. Or are you monochronic? See, that makes me happy. If you are monochronic, then you relate to time differently. You relate to time as discrete objects, moments in time, parcels of time, if you like. So it's not a continuous flowing river. It's divided into fixed elements, minutes, hours, days, weeks, lumps. Temporal blocks, if you like, that can be organised and qualified and set up. And you love a plan. The more detailed, the better. You love a list. You love to keep track of your list. You love a routine. You prefer to do one thing at a time. You want to do that one thing until that one thing is finished to your satisfaction, and only then will you move on to the next thing. You find, generally speaking, that switching backwards and forwards is distracting. Now, I have just lumped you into two very large and inflexible groups. Chances are you fall somewhere in between. But it's actually kind of reassuring for a lot of creative people to realise that there might actually be a term to describe that feeling of time as a river and, you know, being able to just flow from one activity to another. Edward Hall actually first discussed monochronic and polychronic cultures, not people. He actually never meant for these terms to be used to describe individuals, and the reference for his book is actually on the handout that I've given you. He suggests that the USA is monochronic. My husband is Irish, so I can absolutely guarantee you that the island is polychronic. I have a lot of friends who are Irish and a lot of friends who are Fijian, and I couldn't understand why they always came late. But as it says here, polychronic people are very likely to be late. Monochronic people are not. Guess which one are you? Despite my best efforts to be a creative person, I do think that I fall naturally into the monochronic area, although I do wonder if maybe I've just trained myself to be that way, because I certainly wasn't that way when I was a kid. According to the Polychronic Attitude Index, which was invented by a bunch of brainiacs at Western Michigan University in the city happily named Kalamazoo, so excited that that's a real place, by the way. According to the Polychronic Attitude Index, creative people are more likely to be polychronic. I'm not offering any of this up as an excuse, by the way, but it is helpful to understand how you perceive time and why there may actually be a reason for why you haven't been able to force time to conform to the kinds of blocks or schedules or deadlines that other people have invented for you. This does not mean that you are flaky, okay? It does not mean that you are unable to handle deadlines and be accountable. Creative people, of course, as you know, work hard, practice great discipline. I mean, that's how you get good at something, right? You don't just get to fall back on your talent and laurels at every given moment. Most of us have achieved a certain level of excellence or success in our chosen creative field through hard work and blood, sweat and tears. We know the rules. We do know how to manage time. We also know which rules we want to break. So having said all of that, your creativity and very possibly your polychronic attitude to time is something that you need to take into account when we're discussing time management. But Routine is as much a part of the creative process as the lightning bolt of inspiration, maybe more. Thank you, Twyla, the choreographer. Again, one of her books is on the resources that I've given you. In an ideal world, you know that one, where there's no interruptions and there's no kids. And did I say kids? Oops. In an ideal world, we would be able to concentrate on our creative work to the exclusion of everything else. All of our time and energy could go into being creative. We would never ever have to think about being organised in business like at all. And I think we would all have to rush out and find a patron or a sugar daddy in order to make that life work, sadly. Unfortunately, if you want to make money from your chosen creativity, if you want to actually create a business from your art, you are going to need to get organised. I don't really think there's any other way around it. It's a big part of ensuring your future success. It will help you, in fact, to concentrate on your creativity, because if you can get organised around the business stuff, you won't constantly get pulled away by it. You won't constantly be distracted by it. If you can figure out some way to organise the business stuff, then the creative time will take care of itself. I'll give you some more practical tips on how to do all this in a minute. I have another quote for you though. See, I've tried to find as many creative, organised quotes as I can. Be regular and orderly in your life so that you may be violent and original in your work. So, even if it goes against your tendencies, your natural tendencies, you will need to get organised. But the good news is that you can get organised in your own way. You don't have to abide by anybody else's rules and regulations when it comes to getting organised. Some of the ways that I have organised my time are quite peculiar. I am going to share them with you in the interests of transparency, but I do want you to not judge some of my peculiar time management tendencies. They're peculiar because I invented them for myself years and years and years ago when I first started working for myself, and I have never found any reason to change them. So they may not be very sensible, but they work for me. You just need to come up with your own way of being regular and orderly in order to achieve this fabulous violence that Flaubert is talking about.